Yes, sir. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Once again, another episode of Chad's Money Minutes, Chad's Perspectives on your Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock Eastern. Same bat time, same bat channel. Let's see here. Let's get some things because you know me. I always got my notes, got my stuff going on. Let's see what we have here. Let's go. Um, let's put this. Let's prepare this. Get some folks in the building, and once they are in the building, we will we will hit this thing. All right, there we go. New Rican, what's up? Salute to you. I appreciate you for being here. Let's get some things prepped because I ain't gonna lie to you. This travel week has been insane, so I didn't get to make a thumbnail until this morning. I ain't even put it in the what's the name of the thing? The Discord, so on and so forth. But I got some things prepared for you guys. As always, I'm ready with the perspectives. John's traveling credit and travel. Shit, sorry. In the building, New Rican, John, my man, mi hermano, Cesar Joel. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. We'll do it like we normally do it, 3 minutes to 10 people. And then we'll kick off into the first perspective and we'll get things going. Now, also, you know what I mean? I always do these things, do a little something different every time. So I find a formula that works. But I'm really just happy for the engagement and having everybody in it. You guys are going to hear about a lot of stuff I have going on and some surprises. So, with that, in the meantime, while we're here, did you guys see this? Let's share this screen. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to report on this, but I figure right now, let's chop it up. Chrome tab, window. Let's do this one. As you can see here, Delta now has limited time high bonuses for their sign up products. They just put them out. It's a new thing, limited time offer for the gold, for the platinum. I got my second screen over here. For the gold, the platinum, and the reserve card. The reserve card, my wife actually got this back in September when they had 125,000, but you can get the platinum Delta card, $100,000, 100,000 point sign up bonus, 4,000 in purchases for in the first 6 months, 90,000 for 3,000 in the first 6 months for the gold. And then on the business end, do they have anything on the business end? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're pretty much doing the same thing on the business end as well. So that is something to consider. Welcome, Juan. You are number one. Let's go ahead and pull this out. All right, so 3 minutes, 10 people, right on schedule. So let's get into the first perspective. As you can see, you saw the thumbnail. This is about walking the walk. We talk in this community about a lot of things where people, and it's one of my things, people will tell you theory and everything you can do with points, but when the rubber meets the road, they'll give you every consultation in the world. But in the end, when you ask them, well, have you strolled the streets of Dubrovnik? Of course not. No, it's something I want to do, but I can help you do it. I don't really operate that way. I operate in the vein that I want to let you know the mistakes that I've done. What's up, kiddo? Can I watch TV in my room? Go ahead, honey. Here. Yeah, tell your sister to get the remote off the top and help you, okay? Okay. Sorry, that stuff. You know how it is. I always get left alone with the kids when I have to do these lives. But yeah, people will tell you all the theory in the world and then not actually have done it. So this is about walking the walk. You've heard Luke's Points and Miles say it. You've heard me say it. You've heard JP Knowledge say it. And this is where I took a lot of inspiration from. Like those two creators specifically are people who walk the walk. When they say, I have this many cards, I do this, and this is where I'm going, it is not even a game. They're doing it. They're speaking from experience. They have been to the places. They have made the mistakes. They've paid the fees for changing flights that they didn't plan out, flesh out all the way. And I too want to do the same thing. So with that, our first, before, let me say some hellos, 2 more hellos, and then we'll go into the first perspective. Damn, fellow South Florida brother, how about this weather? Huh? And I want to say Tulare, but well, I'll go Tulare 73. Hello, chat and everyone here. Hello and welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. So, going into our first perspective, utilizing benefits and having a working knowledge of what they may be and their base uses is very important to people who walk the walk. If you are walking the walk, then you already know that you need to know what is the cutoff time to invoke the baggage delay insurance on your premium travel cards that you just had to have because your favorite creator told you that you just had to have. How many hours? How many hours do your bags have to be delayed before you can invoke that insurance? How many hours does your trip have to be delayed before you can invoke that insurance? Knowing what to use and when to use them because you have a working knowledge of these things is extremely important. But you have a lot of uh, theory professors who will tell you all of these things are available, but not exactly how to use it. How do you use the roadside assistance that comes with the Ritz Carlton? How do you employ it? When do you deploy it? Is there a distance? Is there a distance constraint? These are things that you have to know. I mean, if you're going to use these cards, a lot of the times people will know of a ton of these benefits and not actually know what to do. I have deployed these benefits. I've deployed trip delay via Amex. I've deployed a baggage claim via Amex, but American Airlines beat them to it and got me a new bag. So you would be surprised the look on people's faces when yeah, they're faced with opportunities to use these things and they're busy trying to look up YouTube while someone's staring them in the face and say, here, sign here. I've also had primary CDW be invoked. And I'm telling you, it was a painless process in Toronto where a hotel person actually clipped the rental car. But because CDW was purchased, I purchased it through the rental company and I've used it through my credit card. I just walked away. That was it. Did you have the coverage? Yes. Have a good day, Mr. Allen. That was it. Just like that. You know what I mean? So these are the things that we talk about. These are the things that I am talking about. And also, breakage is a thing. So when you are not utilizing benefits, when you are not, you think, oh, well, it is what it is. I'll get it next year, so on and so forth. Number one, you can affect how these benefits are offered next year and how refreshes go, and so on and so forth. So you need to know how these benefits are going. So, story time. Recently, last week Sunday, I decided to travel to I had to travel to where was it? San Jose, Northern California. And it was an absolute and utter and total chaotic fiasco. And now, normally if this was personal, I was using my personal cards, I would have invoked the baggage delay insurance because American Airlines managed to delay my trip because of weather. Normally weather is act of God, they don't cover that. But operations delayed my bags. I had two bags that I have not seen since last week Sunday. I've not had physical control of them. So I would be able to invoke a lot of the reimbursements for buying clothes and toiletries and so on and so forth because my bags were not with me. Now, if this was personal, that was the first thing that popped into my head. The minute I had these hours without my bag, that was the first thing I thought of. Oh, it's just a personal trip. I'd be able to do that. But luckily, American's making it right. And one of my bags landed in Palm Beach today. I'm waiting on the other one, which is still for some reason in Dallas, but they're going to get it there for me. So these are the things that you have to be aware of. And you'd be surprised how many people they'll tell you the multipliers on a card, but don't specifically know what the benefits are. Another underutilized and unknown and understood benefit is purchase protection, return protection. How much time do you have to dispute a purchase in which the merchant has not lived up to their end of the deal? I helped someone who has a business platinum card, and he didn't realize that he had 120 days. He paid a merchant via his card. He was able to exercise that protection, but he didn't know. He thought it was like 5-6 days, but knowing and understanding, having a baseline understanding. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to be a Harvard professor for every single benefit, especially for a car like the Platinum that has a dictionary's worth of benefits. But having a working understanding of what benefits are available to you is, if you are going to walk this walk, is extremely important. So that is my first benefit. Let's go back to the comments here. I have my placeholders because now I'm not doing it on my phone, which is awesome. John's Credit and Travel says those creators are called posers or theory crafters. They don't leave the basement. Absolutely. And here's the thing. A lot of people who are, and I like that, I'm going to use that, theory crafters. A lot of theory crafters actually sound good. They've studied these things. They've read the website over and 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 over again. And yeah, you know what I mean? They've done it, but I'm telling you, it just takes one issue where it's like, what do I do now? That really just knocks the whole house of cards over. Dem says, at the gym heading down to Wynwood to check out the new Mexican spot. Can't let the weather keep you inside, for sure. New Regan says, if you ever want to go to Dubrovnik, skip breakfast and go straight to the city. You'll thank me later. All right, will do. I mean, essentially, I would love to go see Dubrovnik. It's just a city I just chose out of random, but out of my hat randomly. But oh, and by the way, see my sledge merch here. That's my bucket hat. It was something I was looking forward to. And so, I wear it. And on top of that, I didn't shave because they have my shaver in my bag and so on and so forth. Dem said Dubrovnik was fire. It was in Croatia for 3 weeks in September. Lucky you. Ho! D-Gas and D1 in the building. Friend of the channel. Salute to you, sir. Thank you so much for being here. John's Credit and Travel. Heading to the gym after I finish laundry. And Filmo is Team Carry On. It helps when you only have 2 shirts, though. I ain't even mad at you because coming back with no bags is actually pretty easy. But unfortunately, I gotta use my toolbox, so I gotta take that with me. And it's a Resi restaurant, 150 off tonight. Hey, good stuff. Mexican spot, huh? Huh. I like Mexican. So, speaking of merch, as you can see here, I have a brand new design of Chad's Money Minute shirts. Give me that. I really use my points. As you can see here, I'll pull it right up. It is designed by Mr. Dylan Harry. I have his what am I doing here? I have his contact information. Dylan Harry, wonderful young man. I've actually known him since he was a baby. He's son of one of my good friends, and he got into graphic design. And so I just told him, hey, just run with something. Give me something. He gave me this design, and this shirt is in white, and this shirt is in black. So as you can see here, that is a new iteration of Chad's Money Minute merch that I do like. I've since put it in my store. It is available. If you want to just have a look at it, if you want to buy it, it's up to you. But that is a new design, and this is something that I definitely want to wear. I want to get his name out there as well. He does designs, freelance, extremely reasonable design pricing. So let me know, and if any of you need something designed, it doesn't have to be YouTube merch, but if you need something designed, by all means, it would be my pleasure to pass this information along. He's working his way through college, and yeah, I want to make sure that I support people doing the right thing and really trying to build something, because he does have a talent. He sent me a couple of files. This one happened to be my favorite because it really gets to the core of what it is I'm about, and it's very much so apropos for this broadcast because I really use my points. I really do. I don't have 10,000 that I'm holding to build to 1 million. I don't have 1 million that I'm just never going to deploy. I really actually use my points. And look at this guy here. Oh, nice shirts. Thank you, sir. Mr. Eric Gow in the building. I had the pleasure of meeting Eric in Las Vegas at the very first creator meetup. Super nice guy. I'm happy to see that you're making videos again. Thank you so much for being here. And you guys, yeah, feel free to check out Eric's channel. As a matter of fact, I think he just made a video about how Built 2.0 sucks. And yeah, you might want to check that out. Great guy, great content as always. And he's another person who, you know, here's the thing. You come out to the meetups, you make efforts. I can tell that you are someone who is ready to walk the walk. You know what I'm saying? And Eric is a perfect example of all that. You know what I mean? So yeah, by all means, please check out his channel because he has done videos ranging from Capital One to Chase, his saga with I believe it was a Chase Sapphire Preferred. It was a long time ago, so forgive me if I get it wrong. And now he's giving his honest opinion about Build 2.0. And yeah, Eric, I'm a longtime subscriber. I hope you guys check out his channel. If you haven't heard of him, by all means, please go check him out. So, okay, here we are now. Let's go to perspective number 2. Hybridization. Hybridization. Elevate your credit card game to a point that when you are ready to walk the walk, I am telling you now, you can try this with one ecosystem. You can try this by sticking to the tried and true Chase Trifecta, MX Trifecta, blah, blah, blah. But hybridization takes your credit card game to a level that is just beyond most people. Your credit card talents are taken just to a level beyond. That's it. That's the best way I can say it. Now, the reason I say that is because even when I first got in the game, I did it. When I first got into this, I got into it kind of backwards. My very first card was a platinum card. I did the Amex Trifecta backwards because before they didn't have the family language. But what I did was I had the Amex Platinum, I had the Blue Business Plus, and I had the Everyday Preferred. So the EDP, no, I'm sorry, the Blue Cash Preferred. I had the Blue Cash Preferred, the Blue Business Plus, and the Platinum. So I was earning 6% on my groceries, 6% on, I believe it was streaming. I had my Platinum. I was traveling all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But I actually ran that by somebody, Luke's Points and Miles, and he was like, "Yeah, if that works for you." And at that point, I didn't know shit from Shinola, but I'm realizing now, hybridizing across cashback and points, or hybridizing across different ecosystems, it's a different elevation because there are times. What's up, little buddy? What's up? You want to come say hi? All right, my kids. Say hi. Hi. All right. All right. Go watch TV with your sister. Yeah. So hybridization, especially with my recent trip to Hawaii, shows that you can't, and this is what Sledge says, you can't eat a point. You can't. And having reserves of cash or having ways to replenish cash helps. Like like the Robinhood Gold card is an integral part of my credit card setup because I actually use it the most at Walmart because we do Walmart Plus. So I'm using the Robinhood Gold in conjunction with the Walmart credit given by my Platinum card, because since we do most of our grocery shopping there, that's guaranteed 3%, which I then reinvest with my stock investments, returning more than 3%, thereby adding to the till. And if I need to sell stock, that's cash in hand. Now, if I invest that in a stock that I'm holding over a year, the capital gains tax is significantly lower than if I have a short-term capital gains tax. But that is something I can get into. I can get into the details of. I can get into the details of that in another video, but that's a conversation for another day. But my finance people will understand, because normally when you make a sale, the taxes are significantly lower after you've held an equity for over a year. So this is something that I'm talking about: hybridization, hybridization, hybridization. I'm actually working on a video here, and here are my notes on a bulletproof system. So I'll give you guys a preview. You meet somebody, wants to get into points and miles, wants to experience what you experience. What cards do you tell them to get? Go ahead, let me know. Most people are going to say, well, start with Chase because psychology and Chase has me programmed. Some people are going to say, well, start with Amex because, you can use my referral link. I'm going to tell you why Chaz Money Minutes is different from everybody else. If I had someone who walked up to me right now and said, how would you get me started in points and miles? First thing I would tell them is that you need to get a return on everything that you spend. Try to get the highest return with the smallest effort possible, because that's what drives people away is the effort. You know what I mean? So I would tell them, I'm gonna give you a hybrid setup. I'm gonna give you the City Strata Premier for $95. I'm gonna give you the Wells Fargo Autograph for $0. And I'm gonna give you probably, and then the third one you can pick. You can do the active cash, which I would prefer. You could do this Capital One Venture One, or you could do a City double cash. But this way, you always have a minimum of at least 2 points that you're getting. You get over 20 travel partners, access to them for what, $95. And in addition to that, you get every single category. Scatter them. Okay, so this is a good question. Why would I scatter them across so many ecosystems out of the gate? It's not so many, it's just two: Wells Fargo and Citi. And with that, they would get 3x multipliers on so many categories that people use every day: their phone plans, their travel, their hotel, their gas, EV charging, restaurants, supermarkets. Every single everyday product almost that most people use would be covered with two cards for $95, and they could choose cash back. Would both have strong cashback ecosystems, 1 cent per point, and or they could use them to travel on major airlines: JetBlue, Aeromexico, Etihad, Emirates, and each one of those cards has a sign up. So, and that's just to start out. That's before they get into anything super complicated. But that is an example of a simple hybridization that can get somebody new in with readily available commercial banks that are here, so they don't have to be in a regional what's the name of it, credit union. They don't have to try to do something weird online or anything like that. But that would be something that would get somebody started out for very little investment, an extreme amount of multipliers, and a basement 2x point return rate. That is why I would do that. So that was perspective two. Let's go back to the hey kiddo, hey. It's like they always want to be in here when I'm doing this. Jordan Rules for Credit. Hope you are doing well as well, sir. And congratulations on the nuptials. The best to you and the wife. Give me 1 second. Come here, kiddo. Come on. Here, go watch TV with your sister. Come on. Dad's got to get this done. Come on. Okay. Sorry. Dad stuff. Sorry. Dem says first platinum. First Amex. Plat was first Amex of 2014 as well. Yeah, I got mine in, what was it, 2022? It was like right before I got married, I want to say. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. Dem says Strata Premier is definitely an easy startup card. Yeah, the amount of multipliers, it's like you can just mindlessly spend and you can hit 3x between those two cards like nothing. Nemo Los Angeles, what's up, Chad in the chat? What's up, Nemo? Man, I just came back from LA and I mean the 405 it's a soul drain. Man, it took me 3 hours to get from the valley down to I was coming out of Chatsworth down to, where was I? Was that El Segundo? I think it was at El Segundo. It was a beast, bro. Okay, hey Nemo, everybody saying what's up to each other. The man, background balloon in the building. And I meant what I said. Between you and Filmo, whoever drops a video first, you get a mic from Chad's Money Minutes. Sponsored. Boom. People saying hello to each other. John's Credit and Crowd. Yeah, Strata Premier is a solid card, but the whole point of that is to tie into the hybridization aspect. A lot of times people want to concentrate on one thing. There is, okay, I get it. Intensity, simplicity of one ecosystem. I understand. But like if you take a card like the City Strata Premier that gets you your restaurants and supermarkets, that's great. The autograph has more 3x categories, including your phone plan. Everybody has a phone plan. So why not get 3x off of that? You know what I mean? You know, why not get 3x? And then on top of that, with the autograph, in addition to that 3x, you get industry leading cell phone insurance. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that simple setup for $95 will get someone who has never used credit card points and miles in a position that's probably far and away better than most of us creators even started out with. But that is the power of hybridization. But what it is that you have to stand back and you have to widen your gaze in order to see the power of said hybridization. So, speaking of the man, Luke's points and miles walking the walk, that one of the inspirations for this episode of Chad's perspectives. He's always walking the walk, and I appreciate you for being here. Big respect for Luke's points and miles. Trust me, if I say something crazy about you hear most creators, he is not included. I will name him specifically by name. Big respect for him. I've met him a few times. Great guy, lovely family. Safe travels to you, brother. So Legends new logo is so sick. Yeah, man, you gotta up your game. So that's why you know what I'm saying. Give me that. I really use my points. All right, here we go. Hybrid setups are not just not being able to eat points. You and few other creators are very right about it. People talk about cashback versus points as if your money didn't come from the same. Absolutely, absolutely. That's what it is. And you know, this whole I've always been against the whole team cashback, team Campbell. I think it really infantilizes and pours into the whole credit card gaming aspect, whereas this is serious business. So cash has its places, cash has its uses, points have their uses, and then different point ecosystems have their uses. These are not foreign currencies. With and here's the thing, a lot of people get confused about different ecosystems, not understanding that the exchange rates are basically the same if they have the same transfer partner. If Citi has, okay, let's take for instance, right? Let's say both Citi and Wells Fargo and American Express and Capital One have Virgin. Say they all have that as a travel partner. You have four different ecosystems. The exchange rate's the exact same. So it's not like I can understand people not wanting to mix credit card ecosystems if different ecosystems got different values from different transfer partners, but that's not the case. It's a very thin veil. All you have to do is move it to the side and boom, bada bing, there you go. So, PM Luke, Caller DS says PayPal, Venmo, credit cards are 3x earners for a lot of shopping between grocery, Costco, and online. That's another one. Costco, online purchases. So this is where, and here's the thing, PayPal and Venmo don't get a lot of shine. You don't get a lot of referral links. City Strata Premier and the Autograph don't get shine because you don't get referral links. So that's why you don't hear them on the mainstream. But when I tell you they are a part of some of the unsung heroes of the credit card game. I've done a previous video on unsung heroes of the credit card game. You are not going to hear a ton about a lot of cards that can't benefit the people who talk about a lot of cards. And I mean, by all means, you guys do your thing, get your money however you got to get it. But it doesn't mean that that's the best for the people who are watching you. Tampa Travel says between subs and retention offers, rarely have time for setups. I swore I'd stick to one in Q1 and built Palladium hit. And the built Palladium hit someday. Okay. I mean, hey, and that's the other thing. Some people don't have time to invest in when to get the card, the family language, and so on and so forth, the upgrade, downgrade path, and the blah, that. All that shit ends up being like rocket surgery. So like I totally get it. What's up, Real Costin? Don't believe I've seen you here before. Howdy. Welcome to the stream. The Jordan Rules for Credit says diversifying into cashback with the Wells Fargo Attune has been great. So many categories that work for me. Absolutely. And that's why I said if you want to include the active cash in that duo, remember that with Wells Fargo, they're just like Capital One, where you can convert your cash back to points, you know what I mean? And use those with their travel partners. And remember, each one of these, they don't charge you that fee that Amex charges you to use domestic travel partners. That's another thing people don't even have to think about. You don't need to know your alliances. Remember, it's effort that scares people away. People love value. They're just scared to death of putting forth the effort because nobody wants to make a mistake, but I don't give a shit. I'll make all the mistakes I can. But so let's go into, because I just started a little bit of ramble session. We still got a couple of perspectives to go. Here's another perspective that a lot of people don't understand. People want to do that one trip that they saw online. They want to do that one thing. They want to go to that one place. I get it. I totally get it. But in all things, I've always said you need to practice. So, with this effective deployment of points and miles, if you are going to walk the walk, requires a short term, 0 to 3 months, a medium term, 6 to 12 month, and a long term, 12-month and past plan. You need to have alternatives, because what will end up happening is if you get a rug pull for any or one of those plans, you need to have an alternative to fall back on. Now, if you're planning obviously out further, you're probably going to use more points because you'll have more time to make more purchases. But no one just redeems and goes to Bali. No one just redeems and goes to Pago Pago. No one just redeems and is laying on a beach in the Seychelles. These are things that take a ton of points, and they do take practice. They do. Sometimes you may redeem and do a business class trip. You could. You may overpay. Who knows? But prudent planning, and that is compartmentalizing your avenues of deployment, is pinnacle if you are going to walk the walk. You definitely don't want to come in shooting blind, because remember, you've earned this currency and you want to deploy it in an efficient manner. Let me stop in the middle of that and highlight my guy, James Ragland. Salute to you for the 5 spot. I appreciate you much, much, much appreciation, sir. Thank you so much. I don't have sound effects because I am quite mediocre, but I will call you out by name. I appreciate you. But yeah, so effective planning and deploying of points, it takes planning. It does. It takes practice. It takes planning. You can't just do this, because remember, this is a currency. It might not be cash in hand. It is still a currency. And unless you're going to start throwing dollar bills out of your car as you drive down the road, don't disrespect your points in the same way, because you've actually put forth effort to earn them. So that was perspective 3. Let's go back to les comments. Where was I? And my guy, Mr. Joe Barreto, Mr. Whipperman in the building. Hola to you, sir. I hope all is well. Oh, by the way, Joe, I'm gonna be up your way probably Monday. I think I'm gonna be in Paramus. I haven't decided where I'm gonna stay yet. I think there's a Hyatt out there because I gotta go up to Queens, and I have to come be in the cold with you. So I'll hit you up after and we can speak on it. But I think I'll be staying out in Paramus. So just want to let you know. Demaz, how's the Eat, Pray, Love tour going? To Luke, Dem's got flamenco and sangria. It's a hell of a way to spend a Saturday. Paella for the win. If I wasn't deathly allergic to shellfish, I'd be right there with you. Let's go here. And Rel Costin says, big trips definitely take practice. Absolutely. This is why I've always told people your first redemption should be something local, a staycation within an hour of your house, somewhere that you've maybe admired, just haven't been able to go to. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Normally, it's not very point intensive, and you get to see how things work. One of my first redemptions was a Hyatt. I just spent the night at a Hyatt just to see, well, what does it take to transfer points and do this? Thank you, baby girl. What does it take? You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't do that because they know that somebody said that they can do this and they can do that, and that's it. Baby girl, hey, I gotta talk to the people. You gotta be quiet, okay?
Okay.
You wanna say hi?
Yep.
Come here. Sorry. All right, come here. Say hi.
Hi.
All right. So yeah, so that's it. That's how it works. All right, we got into the comments. So let's just move on to 4 because we're at 35 minutes. I want to definitely make sure that I get these perspectives in. So perspective number 4 is when you have blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is good. When you have thought out a plan on redemptions, sometimes, just sometimes, the higher multipliers may not be the most advantageous. In some cases, if you've thought out, right, you got a long plan, right? This is my perspective here. And this is something that goes counter to what a lot of people think. People are like, let me min max every little thing that I do. But you have to also think of another currency that everybody always forgets, and that's your time. That's your time, the time value of your money, and just your time period. That is something that you cannot get back. We all get the same 24. So, flipping through cards and doing this to get the max multiplier on a card might be on a currency that you may not be able to transfer that goes in line with your trip. So if I am using Qantas to take an Emirates flight, let's say I'm using Qantas to book an Emirates flight from JFK to Dubai for a dream trip and so on and so forth and yada yada yada. And I have to charge my car at a do I have and I have to charge my car, my electric car, because I'm so cool, but I want the 3x on EV charging, or do I use the 1.5x on my Chase Freedom Unlimited to pay for that charging? Which one do I do? Now, I do believe Chase is a transfer partner, has Qantas as a transfer partner. Or let's use somebody I know who has it, my Blue Business Plus. So now do I take the 2x Amex points or the 3x City points that don't transfer to Qantas? You see how that works? You see how you have to be deciduous in the multipliers that you use, because when you are planning out, when you are fleshing out these redemptions, in some cases there are things that we are programmed to say this is the highest multiplier, so I have to take this. Well, it's great, but if you can't use it to book what you got to book, that doesn't really help. You get what I mean? So even with I believe, if memory serves me correctly, the 7x in travel off of a Hilton card, as opposed to, I think it's 4x on the IHG. Now I could be wrong on these, but if you're staying at IHG property, obviously IHG would be better, or even Chase points, because I do believe they transfer to IHG. So these are the things that you have to pay attention to. And out of sheer habit, you will have times when people will get a higher multiplier and get points that is not going to help them for the booking that they have in mind. So this is something that a lot of people tend to overlook. But people who are walking the walk, people who are really serious about getting out there and use their points, they will approach this from a level-headed perspective that will show them that, hey, taking this haircut here will help my experience there. That they already know this, or they've learned it through mistakes that they have made. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. That's how you make these moves. So let's go back, because I got some updates for you guys and some shit I got wrong. And I want to be able to share those before the end of the video. And you know me, I don't like to keep you guys more than an hour, because hell, you got lives to live. And I mean, I don't think anybody wants to stare at this tragedy for over 2 hours. So let's go back to the comments. Everybody's saying hey to Joe. There we go. Hybrid setups are 150% beneficial. People talk as if all your money doesn't come from the same pocket. It does. Absolutely. Dem says, I agree. The multiplier is not the end all be all. 3x can be better than 4 or 5x if it means a better redemption. Exactly. I mean, points that don't transfer to Qantas won't help me if I'm using Qantas to book. It just doesn't. I can have great transfers to Etihad, but I'm going to Dubai. I want to fly Emirates. I want that experience. I want to or I'm flying Qatar Airways. I want that experience. You know what I mean? So that is what it is. It's like the programming that we have to min-max everything sometimes can work counter to our actual end goal, which flows into the other perspective, is that you have to have a goal. You can't just be competing with your favorite creator to see who can earn the most points and don't nobody know how to do shit. Or they've just crafted a bunch of, they're a theory crafter. They've crafted a bunch of theory about what you can do. And both of you sit there and you say, yes, I can do that too. Well, yes, I can do that too. Haha. That don't work. You know what I mean? So there's that. Comments kind of slowed down. So hell with it. Let's flow into the next perspective. By all means, please This is a place where I want everyone who is viewing to know that they have a voice. You can feel free to disagree with me. I am all for it. Disagreements and discourse help drive me forward, help drive everyone forward. Because look, I got to keep it real. Other people have the views, other people have the subs. I have the people. I have you. You guys have been some of my greatest teachers, and I work my ass off to make sure I can give you the best information and make you the smartest credit card users in the room. That's why it's the HBO of the credit card community. So I'm going to roll into the fifth perspective. Fifth perspective. I'm actually not going to do a YouTube perspective on this one because I've done death, and I think this is the one people listen to the least. But the number of cards that you have does not matter at all without a plan for deployment. I'm not going to say that the number of cards that you have doesn't matter, but it does not matter if you don't know what you're going to use the cards for. I say that because having 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 credit cards doesn't matter if you ain't doing shit with them. What's the point? What is the point? Because credit card points, much like regular currency, the power is not in their accumulation, it's in their circulation. What are you using them for? To be a change point millionaire, that's great. I'm a monopoly millionaire. Wonderful. You think a light company cares about that? Absolutely not. No one cares. So if points power is in circulation and you have no plan on how to circulate these points, what exactly are we doing here? What do you need 50 cards for? What do you need an $80,000 limit at Navy Federal for? What do you need the Palladium plus the Reserve plus the Platinum plus the Venture X? What do you need it for? Tell me. Go ahead. I'll wait. You don't need it. You have no point of redemption. So you can really do everything with one card. Hell, a lot of these companies, they want to be your only card. Anyway, I gave you a 2-card setup that covers so much everyday spend that it's sick, plus gives you 20 transfer partners for $95. And that's for somebody who's going to run out, who takes a flight once every 3 years, who says they have to have a platinum card because, you get Lululemon. So the Lululemon, and I might need an Aura ring every year for the next 6 years to try to wear on one hand because, reasons. No, I mean, let's just make some sense of this. Hey, quiet. So that's the whole thing. The number of your cars does not matter without a plan for deployment. You need to have an idea for deployment. The whole point is you're getting credit cards. Credit cards are a short-term loan. They're a debt vehicle. And if you have no point of where you're going to deploy this extra currency that you're going to earn by spending on these credit cards responsibly, then you might as well just use cash. You might as well. Because that tells me you probably don't even understand the protections that credit card grant over using cash anyway. So just use cash, keep it ultra simple, and keep moving on your way. Don't clog up the space if you don't have a plan. And it doesn't even have to be for you. Like for me, if I stop traveling, my credit card points would probably go to service my kids. Hey, you want to go see the world, this and that, whatever. You want to travel, I'll book it for you. I got you. No problem. My eldest daughter, she has a Delta account. Because if she flies, hey, use your Delta account. And you do what you got to do. You keep that active. You know what I mean? So those are the 5 perspectives for this episode for people who want to walk the walk. For people who walk the walk, these are some of the things that they think about. These are the things that I think about. Period. I've been in my end game so long, this is going to roll me into shit I got wrong. So, in shit I got wrong, I've committed the cardinal sin of credit card creators. I've committed, one of the cardinal sins. There are other ones because I'm just absolutely fucking unpleasant. But the cardinal sin of the credit card creators is, give me a second. Brother Chad. Let me put it. Oh, my guy, LG in the building. Brother Chad, late because I had to take the kids out in North South Carolina. No, hey, man, I ain't even mad at you. My kids are here. Probably going to take them out on a Target run with me. I appreciate you for being here. I've committed one of the cardinal sins. I now have 2 sign-up bonuses that I have to do. So you've heard me talk about being in the end game. I haven't really nothing has really piqued my fancy. So really last year, 2025, I got 2 credit cards the whole year. I got the City Strata Premier in February of 2025, and I got the Amex Business Platinum in November of 2025. That's it. That's all I got. So, being so long in the tooth and holding on, I fell under Chase's rule. So I said, hell, let me go get the Chase Sapphire preferred. Let me throw an app out for it. So there was a fraud alert, blah, 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 while I was in Vegas, and so on and so forth. So then what ended up happening, my son needs some dental work and out of pocket money, it's going to be very expensive. So the wife calls me while I'm at work and she goes, "We need a credit card because if we're going to have to pay for this out of pocket, let's get some points." She's like in it to win it. She's seen enough places in the world that she understands. So I say to myself, where can I get a quick card? Where can I get a quick card? What can I do to get a sign up bonus? So I have this thing in my mailbox for the Built Palladium, or no, Built 2.0, because I'm an original Built customer. And they were like, "Hey, you got a deadline. You do this, no hard pull." They approved me for the Built Palladium. So that's on the way. So yeah, I now have not three, two sign up bonuses because I do believe the Palladium's 5,000 for 50,000 built points in the whatever that built cash bullshit is. And then I do believe it's 5,000 in 3 months for the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So yeah, I got that wrong because I jumped the gun. I got that wrong because I didn't let Chase do their thing because they ended up calling me randomly while I was stuck at an airport in Phoenix saying, "Hey, we just want to make sure you're you." Okay. Yeah, you're you. Congratulations. You got a Chase Sapphire Preferred. So that's going to be 75,000 Chase points. And all of these are going to roll into one redemption to rule them all. But the fact of the matter is, poor planning that I just discussed got me in a situation where now I have a little bit of elevated spend that I'm going to have to do if I want the return. But I want that points per dollar spent from my built sign up. And I probably won't be using the card again because normally I use the built card for my HOA, but with all the nonsense that they got going on, in addition to all of that, I just don't even know if the juice is worth the squeeze for me. I'll just pay the damn fee and use another credit card and get some other points as the one redemption to rule them all starts to take shape. So that is shit I got wrong. So let's go here. Review of the PHX Centurion Lounge. It is funny that you asked that because, and now if you've joined the feed, you know what I mean? If you've joined this live, I always have a little something for you. The Phoenix Lounge was actually the last lounge that I needed. You are looking at someone who has visited every single domestic Amex Centurion Lounge in the country. That was the final key. Now, the Phoenix Lounge is pretty small. It shares a space with the Escape Lounge. If you go to the B terminal in Phoenix, you go to the front desk and up these stairs. Once you come up the stairs, you can either go you go left for the Amex Lounge, right for the Escape Lounge. They don't want you going between the two of them, even though your card grants you access. They want you to just pick one and go with it. But the Phoenix Lounge, it's for the amount of regional travel that they have. I think it's a bit small. You get some views of the tarmac. It was functional. It was smaller than I expected it to be, given that they put one in Phoenix and the international travel that goes through there. But it was all right. It did the trick. But I visited every single one. Anyone who is confused as to what those are, there's Centurion Lounge in JFK, LaGuardia, Washington, D.C., Reagan Airport. Very nice lounge. Houston, Miami, Phoenix, San Francisco, LAX, Los Angeles, Harry Reid Airport, Seattle, that's SeaTac, Philadelphia, and Atlanta, Denver, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Charlotte. Those are all of every single domestic lounge. They are currently, I do believe there are plans to put one in Salt Lake City and one in Newark. But since those are not built yet, I can say I've been to every single domestic Centurion lounge, and I actually have reviews on all of them. I'm trying to put together a video for that where I'll tell you the good, bad, and ugly of every single one of them. So let's go back to some comments here. Paul Diaz says, I've been to both Centurion and Escape. They're the same things. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't go into the Escape Lounge. So, I just wanted to make sure because also Amex keeps track of all of your Centurion Lounge visits, every single one of them. They know where you've been, they know when you've been, they know how many times you've visited. One of the reps pointed that out to me. There we go. No question. Time is the most expensive currency I believe we all have. Entirely up to you how you value an Amex versus Chase versus Bill Point. Same goes for time. Absolutely. An hour can cost you years. I used to work in the prison system. I've seen where a split second choice has costed someone years of their life. So that exchange rate is definitely a floating target, whereas credit card points really are not. ATL Centurion is fire. I've always enjoyed the ATL Centurion. It's a huge space, wonderful space. I like them. Nurican says, it seems all lounges in PHX are small. Sapphire Lounge at 3,500 square feet. American Lounge. Okay, yeah. As a matter of fact, Key from Kiki Adventures said that she went to the American Lounge. I believe it's in the A terminal. And she said it was hot garbage. If it was a movie, it'd have been rated PG for pure garbage. So, yeah, she definitely did not have a lot of nice things to say about that. So, yeah, that is it. And then also, we got a last 10 minutes. I want to open the floor for viewers. Any perspectives you guys have, we can chop it up before we wrap up within the next 10 minutes. So far, until you put them in the links, we've covered all of the perspectives. I got some video ideas for this bulletproof beginner setup. I have a video coming for whenever I can make it for a review of every single domestic Centurion lounge. And I do have a least favorite. I do have my most favorite. My most favorite is the one in Seattle. Atlanta is a close second, but definitely Seattle's my favorite one. And I've been to them both before and after their remodel. Like I went to the Seattle Centurion when it was in a little cubby down by the McDonald's before they moved it to its new location. Like I went to the Centurion in Las Vegas before they redesigned it. They redid it on the inside. It definitely looked way different, and the expansion that they did was great. So yeah, they're always my least favorite is the one. I got two least favorites, JFK and Charlotte. Clinton Douglas Airport, that Centurion is always just packed to the gills. I just don't care for it at all. And at an American hub, you wouldn't think it would be so packed, but it is just packed all the time. And the one in JFK, every time I've been there, aside from the speakeasy, it's in the back, which I think is totally cool. The place is always filthy. It's just always dirty. I don't, every time I've been there, I just didn't want to touch anything. So those are those are some extremes that you have. But yeah, I'll be reviewing those and putting those out there. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're at 53. We got all of the reviews here. Oh, the missus. Come on. You already on camera. Yeah, Here's my partner here, the co-pilot. She's been off looking good. You enjoyed Hawaii.
It was beautiful.
We have one redemption to rule them all. We set that up. You want to tell them the first leg of our trip for one redemption to rule them all?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
What class?
There's only one class. I don't know any other class. Or we're not going.
Oh, see. She's expensive. But in any case, let's head back to the comments here. Raul Costin says, Clinton Douglas Airport is always full. I always choose Sapphire at JFK. Yeah, I have not been to the Sapphire at JFK. I've only been to one Sapphire, and that was in Boston, which I've been there twice. I always enjoy it. Always. I've always liked it every single time. I think really, I think Boston should have a Centurion. I think that would make more sense because if you've ever been to the international terminal, The Delta Club there is they have a Virgin Lounge there, if I do recall correctly. I think Boston would do well to have a Centurion Lounge. I think even more so than Phoenix, to be perfectly honest with you. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, we got it all here. You know what I mean? At this point now, hell, we can finish early. So since we're going to finish early, and I don't want to just waste your damn time, first things first, want to give a huge shout out James Ragland for the 5 spot. I thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You don't know how much that support means to me. I want to thank everybody who has been here because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here. I do not count milestones because each and every one of you that has given me an hour of your time on a Saturday afternoon, it's just, I always appreciate it. Always means the most to me. I thank you so much. So let's see here. Oh, we got some stuff going on here. Okay, my guy, Dong Kim in the building. How was my recent trip to LA? To be honest with you, the worst part about LA, aside from the 405, was getting to LA because of all of the snowstorm delays. But for the most part, it actually wasn't bad. I got there, I stayed at El Segundo. I went downtown. I had to do some work there. I was out in Southgate over by Downey. I had to do some work there. I was in Gardena, and there's another. I went into the valley. I went to the valley. I was Northridge Chatworth area. I had to do some work out there. But it's just aside from the traffic, LA wasn't really bad, especially for a business trip. It was actually and it wasn't hot, so that wasn't bad. No rain, so it worked out. As a matter of fact, because I had to switch up my stuff. I think week after next, instead of going to SoCal, I'll be up in the San Jose area where I was supposed to go anyway. So week after next, I'll be back out that way. But next week, I'm gonna be in Paramus. I'm gonna be in Queens. Gonna be in where else? A bunch of places over by Newark. So there's that. New Rican says he thinks they're building one now in Boston for the Centurion. Well, good. The more Centurions they'll build, I will visit more of them. Some of them I got footage of, some of them I don't. When I put the video together, I'll include as much B-roll as I can because I pretty much recognize where every one of them were and with the times. That way I can give you guys some footage of them. Getting to the rental car building from LAX sucked. Yes, it does. Especially what I found the trick is you either need to go very late or very early because LAX at the arrivals and departures over by the baggage area just turns into a goddamn parking lot. It is horrible and nobody respects the shuttles. No more Mr. Nice Guy 4 says, any tips for minimum spend on the sign-up bonus? Well, with minimum spends, for that, there's a conventional idea that you need to use the card for everything in order to organically build up the spend. But if you do not support that spend, I like to deploy the cards if they allow it for taxes and any large purchases. In addition to that, I will leverage family and friends. Do you have a large purchase for which you are paying cash for? If you are paying cash, let me put it on the card. And my gift to you is I will pay the card tax in order to do so. And boom, you'd be surprised. People with dental work deductibles, medicine deductibles. Unfortunately, in the country that we live in today, medicine is something that is extremely expensive and is used to drive people into the poorhouse. So why not leverage it and get a sign-up bonus off of it? And you could be helping somebody, you know what I mean? So that is another one. Medicine is a big one. Large purchases, taxes. You can pay your taxes forward if your card allows for that. If you have purchases in which PayPal or cash transfer services are used, you can load them up and use that to monetize your credit card spend in order to pay that. And then you just have to pay your credit card. Another way of hitting minimum spend. Oh, you can spend outside of your means. You can buy a giraffe. I don't know why I'm obsessed with buying a giraffe, but I'm just joking on the last two. But I'm just saying people do it. People do spend outside of the means to do it. Maybe you also upgrading equipment or things in your home that you already have or that you mean to upgrade, there are some contractors who accept credit cards if you have like work you need to be done in your home. So even if it's something that you put on a credit card that you have a portion for, the equity increase in your home can cover the other half over the length of time. So that's another thing that you can do, especially if you buy the equipment and you have someone do the work. So let's go here, BPBL. Congratulate me, friends. I just got my first business card. I've been waiting on the Amex BBP, but not at 15K sub. Been bugging them for 75K and finally got it. Congratulations to you. Salute. I have a Blue Business Plus. My wife has a Blue Business Plus. Great card. Absolutely great card. Says being denied the Built Platinum was a blessing in disguise because I can't hit both minimum spends at the same time. Exactly. Because some idiot did that and now he's stuck with both of them. And I mean, I haven't even gotten the cards in the mail, so I got to figure out life on this. Don Kim says, I work near Northridge. If you like pastrami, I would recommend Brent's Deli next time you're there. Okay. I'll keep in mind. I actually tried this place called Fire Wings, and it was pretty good. They had this like wings fry basket. It was delicious over by a Starbucks. MJ the Giraffe. Those t-shirts are fire. Yeah, man, they are available in my YouTube store. If you go to my channel and look at my merch, the designs are there for both black and white. I put those in. Dem says, just got my Palladium out of my mailbox. Absolutely hilarious that I have to wait a week to use it. Jesus, why? Why is that a thing? What? Why? I don't know why that's a thing. Why is that a thing? Yeah, let me know why that's a thing. Nemo Los Angeles says, Brent's is good. Cavaretta's Deli as well. I want to say that might have been the place that was next to Fire Wings. But yeah, I did Fire Wings. Oh, salute. Oh, shit. Salute to the big homie in the building. Sledge. There we go. You already know. You know what I mean? Yeah, go like see, that's how much I don't know about Built. I just wanted the points. I haven't put any spend on the card yet. That'll actually be going to my kid's dental, and I think the appointment will be after that. So I'm probably just gonna hit the sub, take the points, and run. Keep it for a year and get rid of it because Built is while it might be good, from what I'm learning, it's looking like the best deployment for like something like the Built Palladium will be for it to be an only card setup or a main card setup, high spend setup. But we'll see because as I learn these things, I definitely will be sharing with you the best deployment because as always, I want you guys to be the smartest credit card users in the room. You already know. You already know. Go live date. You know what's up? I'll get that maple turkey. Oh, damn. Yes. Yes, Sledge. I did. I accepted the offer because for my son's dental work. I accepted the offer for my son's dental work and the fact that I didn't know what Chase was doing with my Sapphire Preferred application. And right after I accepted the offer and I confirmed it, within about an hour or two, Chase called me and told me I also got the CSP. That's why I have 2 sign up bonuses that I have to use because I jumped the gun. And yeah, I probably shouldn't have, but it is what it is. I'm gonna take the points and I'm gonna deploy them for one redemption to rule them all. So far, the wife is telling you guys we do have a first class ticket booked to Abu Dhabi. We also have another leg booked to Singapore. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of videos are going to come out of this. A lot of products we're going to be trying and comparing in order to bring you guys the best information that we can bring. I have all the math written down. So for you numbers people and theory crafters, this way you can tell people what they can do. Hey, look at me. I'll give you a consultation. You can do all of that too. La-di-da. And that way you can craft your theory. So with that, oh, oh, are you going? If you're going, hit me up over here. I want to hear what your thoughts are for that, because definitely I want to see Africa again. Cairo is cool. I've been looking at Johannesburg. I've been looking at the Seychelles. I've been looking at Harare, but Senegal, Western Africa is somewhere I want to go. I have a lot of people that I know out of Lagos, and some people I know in Accra, but yeah, definitely, I want to hit you up about that. But yeah, that is this episode of Chat's Perspectives. Now, I've already done my closing. I thought we were going to go out early, but then the comment section started popping off. I appreciate you guys. And then also just remember, new merch in the store, new design. Give me that. I use my points. Definitely something that is a conversation starter, because I purposely left my name off it, because you know what I'm saying? What points? I'm glad you asked. You know what I'm saying? You can put that together with your merch if you want to meet your favorite creator. Don't forget, we will be having a mini meetup in Sacramento at the end of March, the weekend of March 27th. In addition to that, there will be the next meetup in Charleston, South Carolina, hosted by Anthony Venture. That will be over the Labor Day weekend in September. You have plenty of time to plan. Base of operations will be a Hyatt hotel. You can check that out in the Discords as well. Also, remember, I do believe this is your last day to join the Sledge Inc. team Discord. You definitely want to be a member of his channel as well. If you want to join beyond that, you have a wealth of experts in there. I am in there. I am across all of the Discords, and everyone is there to help. So, boom, we got Rel Costin, and welcome to the feed, Rel. Hopefully, I can get you as a subscriber. Sledge, Kenya or Morocco? Hey, Sky Team has a big presence in Nairobi, and then also the I believe it's a Marriott Safari Hotel that's also available there. So salute, Caesar said it best. Salute to all of you. I appreciate you all for being here for another episode of Chat's Perspectives. And with that, I am signing off. I will be coming to you again from a special location next weekend. Because why? Because I really use my points. So I'll be joined by one of my beautiful co-pilot, as well as we will be on a special location. So with that, salute to you guys. Thank you, everybody who took your time out to be here with me. And I will catch you guys next week.